Cup of coffee. I love these foggy morning. And so when you go over the Coronado Bridge, I mean, you can't really get a good view from a car. But if you're taking the bus, the MTS bus over the Coronado Bridge, you look back toward the shipyard, you see what this fog looks like from above. It's beautiful to be enveloped in it, the way that it's like a sea mist, and it envelops all the buildings in this beautiful haze of the beautiful tungsten light in the night sky. You know, I guess it permeates into that sea salt and into that haze or whatever it is, fog, whatever it's it's San Diego. So look, I got this cup of coffee here from the Starbucks over there. I'm out of money. I can't afford this shit, but it's a sick day. It is a sick day. I'm still sick. I've been sick for a long time. Everybody in the Father of Joe's, everybody there is sick. Everybody's coughing. It's just so now it's finally lower respiratory tract mostly. So it's a good thing I got my Mucinex and high strength, ultra strength, maximum strength DayQuil. Down a Mucinex with a DayQuil swig, and I'll be good in the next few days. So I'm not really able to do much running because of it. I still like to get out and walk to the airport in the morning, but today we just came down to Euclid because we got up late, and it was to some guy saying, get up, everybody, it's a bug day. We have something called bug day. So I'm documenting history here. Anyone that's been through Father Joe's or will be knows in the RISE program, there's something called Bug Day. And so what happens is they come in and they fumigate the whole thing with bug bomb. And so everybody wakes up, and you got to put your stuff in a bag. You got to wait in this line to put your stuff in storage bins behind the a counter where they have the mail service and the storage and the what they call resident assistants, like it's a dorm room or something. What this is College of Hard Knocks, I guess. So instead of doing that, because I didn't want to wait in the line with everybody and wait an hour to put my stuff away in an orderly way, I'll just take my stuff with me for the whole day. Right. So I can't go back there, but they've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I might go try to hit breakfast. I don't know. Well, my AI, I scanned in the calendar that shows what's for breakfast, what's for lunch, what's for dinner. So I can just ask it, what time is breakfast? What time? I actually had it put out for me in the calendar, put up events. So right now, see all these things I have to talk about to get my personal assistant to help me. We're gonna make a separate video about that, but long story short, I need a developer to help me create, like I was saying in the last video, a great backend through like Cloudflare D1 or something that just is all-purpose, multi-purpose, Microsoft Graph API, all functions, write, edit, read, drop, or delete, whatever they call it in that world, specific events, also specific notebook pages in OneNote, because I'm a big OneNote user. I used to have something called Evernote when I first started college in 2009. When I graduated from high school, Evernote was the thing, and then they came out with Microsoft OneNote, and I was like, I like it. And I'm still a user of it. Why is that still a product in their lineup? As weird and esoteric as some of Microsoft's products are, like, why aren't you just using a Google Sheet? A Google Sheet can just scrape the web with XML import for phone numbers and things you need from everybody, and places where you can make it happen, websites where they put out information on voter registration records and what party people belong to and what the address of their houses are. And then you can take that you can just have a spreadsheet go and pull that. You don't have to have honestly, if you have Python, you know how to code out an application, or you can run it locally on your machine, or it's faster. It goes through all the data and uses very from the pandas library. So anyway, whatever, it works. I'm not the developer. I need to work with one, help me do what works, so that I can have AI. I can just connect this thing to like a custom GPT in my chat GPT through like D1 Cloudflare, and there's like a worker that you can put in, and it says with like a YAML, what I think is called a YAML file, is what it's a whole bunch of blocks of code you just paste in. It creates a custom GPT. I need a developer to help me with that, so that it then connects to that backend, so I can have chat GPT in any of the chats I open up, just edit my OneNote, edit my Outlook, so that I'm not having to export these ICS files and open it up in iCalendar or Outlook on my phone or on my computer to have that imported. I'm a heavy user of AI. I'm an AI power user, even though I was trained in all these applications in business computing and know how to use Outlook and understand the principles of it, like with Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. All that we know the old ribbon. We know before they came out with the ribbon, Microsoft Word. We know classic Microsoft Word, where to go, all these little things to go into, like document data, document fields, page X of X. We know how to go to the big window where that's and it says all these different things you can put it as a field for the document, and this is, and the number of pages is found under a different category than the page number. And this is stuff that is just classic Word. If you know how to go in there, it's like history coming, it all comes back to 1997, 2001, just a good times. That's the sad thing about computers, and why I think eugenic people have other people do computers for them, is because they want their experience to be timeless. I'm going to make a separate video about religion and what Christianity emerged for, which was that now life is more opulent. Now I'm scared to die. Back when we had to struggle for survival, and by and large, despite what the Jew book says about how they don't like, they bash the heads of the babies against the wall in Babylon, if you were ugly and unsightly, you could be euthanized by your own society. There's no evidence they did it at Stonehenge, and that's not why that's called the slaughter stone, but I like to think they did. Blunt force is a very beautiful way. It's the most painless way. It's like it is all this pressure, and then you fade away. And you have your head bashed in, and the brains fly off of your head against the slaughter stone of Stonehenge, and you return to BEANE. You come back the football player you were supposed to be, the total killer predator you were supposed to be, bending women over, doggy styling them. This isn't pay them $40 equivalent in pesos in Mexico. That's weakness. This is pin them down. This is, she knows she's subjugated. She's got tears coming out of her eyes. This is when rape, there was no word. R-A-P-E wasn't the word. It was the way things were. And women had to love losing control of it that way, because the man would hold her down. And that's what the wedding day is symbolic of. It's when she's raped, and why the woman's supposed to cry in the wedding dress is because it's just, not only is it loss of control, I'm losing control to my clitoral urges. He's making me feel the clitoral sensations, whether I like it or not. And I'm just a woman. And I'm tiny, and man is the one, man is man, woman is woman. I'm pinned down evolutionarily, and he can do it to me this way too, because he's so strong. He's the winner, and so you're in tears, and that's what the wedding is about, and that's what it's symbolic of. So for the fully disabled, retarded people, by the way, that's the thing with the guillotine in France and all this, when they came out with the death penalty. I'm going to talk about that in another video, where the noble, the word bougie or whatever they have from sociology, the stuff they like to talk about in sociology. So much French. Michel Foucault, get AIDS and die. Michel Foucault. That's what happens. That's what happens. It's a sad thing, because we're in that society, and they don't return us to BEANA. And so we get old enough, and finally the person can argue not to be killed. And we have to respect that, because now we live in a world of law. That's why I don't like lawyers. We live in a world of law, paperwork, contracts. Take it to the judge, see what the judge has to say. We should live in a world of, you create heebie-jeebie, return to BEANE, and the stone comes out, and the head is bashed in, and you're returned to pick up a new body, and we defeat God and his evil hand in having created us unequal. So we can all play football, and we can all be strong, and we can all subjugate the woman under our animal husbandry that way, as the real God intended. But of course, and that's the thing with Anton LaVey. So he's talking about Satanism, but it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's like LGBT. What kind are you? Anton LaVey was such a joke, which is why I love Anton LaVey. But in my story of neo-Satanism, in my religion that I created, I'm going to talk about it, how it emerged. University of Hawaii is so central to it, and the magic of University Avenue and the churches, and Mormons Institute of Religion, and Buddhist Institute, and all this stuff, and then the university. To me, the university, because you have this flame, that's the real. We stole fire from the god Prometheus, stole the fire from the gods, the Olympic, and so now you're gonna carry your stone up the mountain. And so we carry our stone up University Avenue, our books, our bags, our notebooks, to go, and because we have to carry our stone up the mountain, and you can look at it a lot of ways. We do what we have to, and like the myth of Sisyphus, sissy, you're a sissy. So because you're a sissy, you're going to go to UH, and you're going to access vagina this way, and her name's going to be Meakalia, and it's going to be on paper, and it's going to be wedding day, and it's going to be, you put the ring like that, when you slide the ring, and there's going to be everybody, it's going to be Alex Bitter's your best man, there's going to be, and there's going to be Courtney Teague there as one of the bridesmaids, no hard feelings at the end of the day, and then you're going to get to rape her by putting this smelted or banned on her ring finger because that's how slow we are. But so that's what the thing with the guillotine is, the elites like Donald Trump, they get to just descend into a community, molest children, slit their throats, enjoy watching the life leave their body, disembowel your son or daughter by cutting them from their throat down to their wee-wee, and then they can just, and then kill you off if you say anything about it, and then eliminate all record of your SSI number, all record of your birth certificate, and no one ever knew you existed. They can do that. So the thing with these French nobility sitting at the execution, that's why I don't like Law and Order. When you go to a court and you're saying someone's a rapist, someone's a murderer, we're going to punish them, we're going to put them in jail. Or in many states, California still has San Quentin's death chambers, and it's kind of a joke. That's just for me. They created that just for me for when I do my killing spree. And we'll talk about that too, about what the symbolism is. This beautiful story I wrote about how even that when they strap you to that and stick the big needle in there, and they're about to stick the 3-drug cocktail, the guards even have to look at you and say, you could have been Marine Corps, and that's why you had to go on that killing spree. You proved it. But I digress. So those are all the things that are kind of on my mind this morning. We have 6 o'clock. I think I'm gonna try to hit breakfast, and we're gonna make micro videos today. We're gonna make all these micro videos, 30 seconds, 1 minute, easy. But this is kind of the core from which it's going to all spring forth.